just recently retired after some 35 years of being with Gibbs Soell, having started as a junior account executive back in 35 years ago, and working my way up and getting ownership in the company. Around the mid-'80s, I was very fortunate enough, by the way, to work for two principals, Dick Gibbs and Dick Soell, who really had a passion for succession planning. And when one of those partners retired back in the early '80s, that being Dick Soell, he left it to Dick Gibbs, and Dick Gibbs says, it's time for me to start looking within the organization. He offered up 7 of us, we called ourselves the Magnificent Seven, and offered us equity in the company, which we had to buy in. In fact, for the first few years, as a very minority type of owner, we would take our bonus checks from Dick Gibbs and sign the back of them and turn them right back over to him. So the investment started. But that was really the first time, it was back in the '80s, that I began to see the path toward being an owner of this company and ultimately running this company. Once we committed to the financials and bought into the equity of the company, then it was really, again, getting back to Dick Gibbs, because at this point he owned 68% of the company, and then the rest divided amongst the Magnificent Seven. He started to size each one of us up based on the challenges of the day-to-day, our relationships with key clients, which generates the revenue for us. And I'm very fortunate that I came out of that pack. The other owners wanted the opportunity to have the job I ultimately got. As the years went by, they self-eliminated themselves. They said, we really don't want to have to deal with some of that. Dick's retirement, or as he was coming to his decision, he did in fact sit down with me. We had many long discussions. I wanted to be sure I knew what I truly was getting into. Dick was very helpful. He urged me to cut my own cloth, if you will, to pioneer my own path, and not to try and be another Dick Gibbs. So it kind of evolved over time to the extent that in 1992, when Dick Gibbs called it quit, it was a non-event that I was named the CEO and president of the company. It truly was a non-event for both employees, fellow partners, and most importantly, frankly, our clients. We rolled up our sleeves a lot, and but I think at the end of the process, I was more convinced than ever that I could handle this job, and did so, and kind of made it clear to the organization and my clients that no one person can replace Dick, but I think the 7 of us working very closely with one another, we can take what Dick has given us and take it to greater heights.